ग्रुप ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स को ये काम सौंपा है। प्रणब मुखर्जी उसके चेयरमैन हैं और एक इशू उसमें ये भी है कि डिस्क्रिशनरी पावर्स जो मिनिस्टर्स की हैं उनको ख़त्म किया जाए ना। इस बात पे विचार करना होगा कि क्या कुछ किया जा सकता है, क्या कुछ किया नहीं जा सकता। अभी 60 दिन उनको दिए गए हैं रिपोर्ट देने के, तो मैं उस रिपोर्ट का इंतज़ार कर रहा हूँ।
मेरा एक सप्लीमेंट्री क्वेश्चन भी है सर। इन 2009 जो फॉरेन एफडीआई फंड करीब $14 बिलियन आया था, जबकि 2010 के पहले 8 महीने में केवल $14 बिलियन तक ही ये सिमट के रह गया। कहाँ गलती हुई?
गलती हमारे यहाँ नहीं हुई। इंटरनेशनल एनवायरनमेंट ऐसा है कि फंड्स इमर्जिंग मार्केट्स पिछले दिनों में तमाम इमर्जिंग मार्केट से फंड वापस गए हैं। तो वी आर today functioning in an environment where what happens outside affects us, and therefore it is not easy to say that I think what happens to the fund flow is entirely a function of our policy. It is also a function of what policies our other friends, particularly the developed countries, adopt. And it is that process that is way. But I do agree that we need to strengthen our resolve to create a favorable environment for larger flow of funds from abroad.
Thank you, sir.
स्टार न्यूज़।
मैं स्टार न्यूज़ से शाजी जमा। हाल के वक्त में कई गंभीर आरोप भ्रष्टाचार के आपकी सरकार पर लगे। कभी आपको ऐसा लगा कि प्रधानमंत्री होने के नाते इसकी नैतिक जिम्मेदारी आप पर आती है?
मुझे अपनी जिम्मेदारी का एहसास है, इसमें आपको कोई शक नहीं होना चाहिए। लेकिन मेरी कुछ मजबूरियां भी हैं। कोलिशन पॉलिटिक्स में बहुत कुछ सहना पड़ता है। या तो फिर ये हो कि हर 6 महीने में नए इलेक्शन कराए जाए, ऐसा भी करना उचित नहीं होगा। इसलिए some compromises have to be made in managing a coalition government, and those issues therefore I think have to be viewed in the context in which no single party has, I think, emerged which can rule by itself.
एक सवाल और, आपका एक बड़ा हिस्सा आपकी जिंदगी का राजनीति से बाहर गुजरा है। आज के हालात में, आज के राजनीतिक माहौल में कभी आपको ऐसा लगा ये राजनीति आपके मिजाज के मुताबिक नहीं है?
नहीं, उसमें बहुत सी चीज़ें हैं जो मेरे मिजाज के साथ मिलती नहीं हैं, लेकिन आई हैव लुक्ड अपॉन लाइफ एज वन लॉन्ग कंटिन्यूअस लर्निंग एंड रीलर्निंग प्रोसेस, एंड फॉर मी आई थिंक it has been a great educational experience from civil service from academic world to the political world. I think it is a process of learning, and I certainly, I think, relish that experience.
Thank you. Time's now.
Mr. Prime Minister, you say you have to make compromises. There can't be any compromise with corruption.
No.
And there cannot be a compromise even if you're running a coalition government. And sometimes when corruption happens right under your nose, Mr. Prime Minister, you spoke about the coverage in the media. There is a general view that had the Devas ISRO deal, not the scam, not been exposed by the media, it would have gone through. My specific question to you on the Devas ISRO deal is this, that there are people in your government, allegedly people in the Prime Minister's office, there are people in the closed bureaucracy who were in the know about the deal after the decision to blacklist that company was taken in July. And now we know that they were still in backroom talks with the same blacklisted company till a few weeks back. In that context, Mr. Prime Minister, there are people who are in the know about a scam of a deal, they delayed action in the deal, and they continued some backroom talks, and we were told these talks are normal. Mr. Prime Minister, is it normal to continue backroom talks with a blacklisted company in a scam like this?
There have been no backroom talks. I think I have not met anybody myself, and the decision of the Space Commission to annul the deal was taken on the 10th of July. I believe That's the
2nd of July.
2nd of July. The
Yes.
Space Commission took a number of decisions, of which annulment of the contract was one of them. The Department of Space was asked to take action on all the 5 decision points that emerged from the Space Commission meeting. The issue of how to annul the contract required consideration by legal experts, and the Law Ministry was consulted. A decision had to be taken on whether to annul the contract using Article 7C or Article 11 or both read together. Eventually, it has been decided that the government should take a sovereign policy decision regarding the utilization of space segment capacity, which uses S-band spectrum having regard to the country's strategic requirement. I would like to mention that although the Space Commission took a decision to annul the contract in July 2010, the actual cabinet note was received from the Department of Space in the PMO only in November 2010, and even then there were a number of, I think, consultations to polish it up, and at the most you can say that between November and now, I think the Prime Minister's office has got this note for the cabinet. Decision has been taken now, I think, but it requires
Okay,
consultation.
Mr. Prime Minister, the talks were not with you, but with people within your office and after November. That's just a point I want to make. Do you buy the zero loss claim in the 2G scam?
No,
And you
don't-
promise.
Mr.
You promise.
Goswami, please don't. This is not an interrogation of the
This
Prime
is
Minister. Please, you don't jump from one subject to another. The Prime Minister is trying to answer your question on ISRO business. Let him finish. Show him the courtesy.
Let the Prime-
Show him the courtesy.
Let me say,
I was just following up.
after the receipt of the note for the cabinet from the Department of Space, for preparing the cabinet note, a number of ministries were consulted, and the Department of Space itself took 6 revisions of the note before finally submitting it for approval. It is certainly true that a number of letters were received by members of the Space Commission, including officials in the PMO, from Devas after August 2010, including as late as a few days ago. Letters were also received in the PMO from the US Chamber of Commerce, but no action was taken on any of these letters, which were merely filed. At no stage was Department of Space asked by the PMO to comment on the points made in these letters. They had no impact whatsoever on the processing of the case. On the contrary, PMO followed up its verbal reminders to the Department of Space by sending a letter to the Department of Space in October 2010 seeking a status of follow-up of the decision taken by the Space Commission in its July 2010 meeting. The matter was never raised by the German Minister of Foreign Affairs during his meetings with me in New Delhi on 18th October. I think some people have reported that German Foreign Minister raised it with me. There is no, I think, such a meeting. The meeting did take place, but he never mentioned anything. It is a fact that meetings did take place between Devas and officials of the Department of Space, ISRO and Antrix after July last year, since the agreement had not actually been annulled. But no further actions were taken by the Department of Space or ISRO to implement the agreement. No assurance was given in contravention of the recommendations of the Space Commission. Though there has been some delay in processing, this was only procedural. The fact is that the contract was not operational in any practical sense, and there was no question of diluting in any way the recommendations of the Space Commission. All the consultations are now almost complete. The ministries concerned have all had the opportunity to express their views as is required before any policy decision can be taken by government at the level of the cabinet. And also because this issue concerns many other ministries apart from the Department of Space. These include Department of Telecommunication, Defense, Home, Finance and Law. The matter is expected to be put before the Cabinet Committee of Security for a final decision. So that's the state of affairs.
Thank you.
There has been no effort in the Prime Minister's office to dilute, I think, in any way the decision taken by the Space Commission in July 2010. On that, I would like to assure you, and through you, I would like to assure the country.
Thank you. Sun News.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, Prime Minister. This is Ramakrishnan from Sun TV. I'm having a question that Tamil Nadu fishermen who are fishing in the sea, they are facing continuous problem by the Sri Lankan. So yesterday also the Sri Lankan Navy abducted 106 fishermen from the sea.
I have been told that 118 fishermen have been taken into custody. We are taking up this matter with the Sri Lankan government. We take a very serious view. I think only earlier this month, Foreign Secretary was sent to make a strong démarche to the Sri Lankan government that this sort of behavior is not acceptable among neighborly countries.
So one small supplementary, along with the Kerala state, Tamil Nadu is also going to face the assembly election. What is your assessment on Tamil Nadu election?
Well, I am not an astrologer, but I do hope that the ruling coalition will win.
Thank you, sir.
BBC.
Prime Minister, I'm Sanjoy Majumdar from the BBC. Prime Minister, this week the British government announced that it's going to give India £1 billion in aid over the next 4 years. That's about $1.6 billion. Given that your economy is growing at over 8%, as you pointed out, that it's probably already bigger in size or will soon be bigger in size than the UK, and that many Indian companies are investing heavily in the UK, why do you still need this international aid?
Well, I think India still is a poor country. And it is certainly true that if aid is not forthcoming, we will not collapse. But I think we have the capacity to make good use of development assistance. And if some friendly country offers, I think, large amount of money by way of concessional development support, I don't see reasons why we should decline to accept it.
And a supplementary, Prime Minister, are you concerned that the international image of India is taking a beating because of these scams, and that it may soon be seen as a country that's no longer good to do business in?
Well, let me say that this sort of atmosphere is not good. It saps our own self-confidence. It also, I think, spoils the image of India. And therefore, I urge each one of you that in reporting these events, while opinions are a matter of speculation, facts are sacred. And facts should not be distorted. Opinions, you can, I think one can freely express views which are one's held conviction, but we owe it to our country that when it comes to reporting the country's affair, at least when dealing with the facts, I think they should be as objective as is possible.
Thank you. Last question. जी न्यूज़.
धन्यवाद प्रधानमंत्री जी. मैं सतीश के सिंह जी न्यूज़ से. सबसे पहले तो मेरा ये सवाल प्रधानमंत्री जी कि आपने ये प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस क्यों बुलाई. दूसरी चीज ये है कि हमारे इस सवाल के दो हिस्से हैं. पहला तो ये है कि आप कहते हैं कि जो भ्रष्टाचार का जो मुद्दा है उसके ऊपर आप डेड सीरियस हैं, लेकिन ये क्यों होता है कि मीडिया जो ये चीजें निकाल के भ्रष्टाचार के लाता है तभी सरकार की नींद खुलती है. और जैसे ये एक लोकपाल का मुद्दा है, बहुत दिनों से लंबित है. ब्लैक मनी का जो इश्यू है, इस पर सरकार ने क्या किया जब तक ये मीडिया में नहीं आया. स्टेट फंडिंग ऑफ इलेक्शंस की बात होती है, इस पर सरकार ने क्या किया. एक ये सवाल है. दूसरा जो इसका हिस्सा है कि आम धारणा ये बनी है कि आपने भी माना कि भ्रष्टाचार के कई चीजें हुई हैं और उस पर सरकार किसी को छोड़ेगी नहीं, लेकिन जब देश में महंगाई बढ़ती है, आम आदमी की सरकार है आपकी और उसकी कमर टूटती है और कराहता है, तो उसको लगता है कि एक तरफ भ्रष्टाचार है और दूसरी तरफ महंगाई है। आने वाला बजट है उसमें कुछ मरहम लगाने के लिए या भ्रष्टाचार के ऊपर जो एक कॉन्क्रीट स्टेप्स है, डेड सीरियस होने के नाते जो आप कह रहे हैं, उस पर आप क्या करने पाएंगे? और अंतिम कि क्या आप